Okay, good day YouTube. Today I wish to touch on a set that I am theory crafting and just trying out for the first time. This set has actually been around for about 2 to 3 years I think, and many ESO content creators swear by it. Many PvP content creators would highly recommend this set, Rallying Cry, together with Wretched Vitality. You would think like these two sets is like the freaking Kobe Bryant and Shaq of the ESO PvP world, right? A lot of people are using it, it's quite meta, so I'm curious to test it out, and this is what I experienced. Okay, but first things first, where do you get this set? I would recommend that you do not go to Cyrodiil Cropsford to try to buy it from the merchant, because you get it randomly. You cannot really get the item that you specifically want, and of course there's always a chance that you get ambushed by salty, toxic PvP players who are just there to have a little bit of fun and to down your day, right? So I would recommend that you go and get it from the guild trader, spend a bit of gold if you have the means to do so, and get the particular piece that you need to. Okay, so moving on, let us go into the information about this particular gear set. It is what many ESO creators would say is very stat dense. There are a lot of value bang for buck that you get out of this set once you prog it. 2 items give you critical chance, 3 items maximum magical, 4 items critical chance, and 5 items. While Battle Spirit is active, critically healing yourself or an ally causes you and up to 11 other group members within 12 meters to gain 300 weapon and spell damage and 1650 critical resistance for 20 seconds. So right off the bat, just reading this, I would see this more as a defensive set with a slight offensive bonus. So that's what makes this set so attractive, because most of these 5-piece set, they just give you one and not the other. They give you a defense but maybe not the offense. In this case, you actually have both. Okay, but carrying on, there's another bit to it. A caveat is that each group member affected reduces the weapon and spell damage by 15 and critical resistance by 83. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds. So 2 things to take away from this, one of which would be the proc effect can actually last almost continuously, because the proc effect is 20 seconds, but this effect occurs once every 15 seconds. And the second bit is that the more group members you have, the less effective and the less optimized this set will be. So I can imagine that this is probably good if you're running solo in Cyrodiil and Imperial City, but once you're in BG with 3 other teammates, they take away the benefits bit by little bit, right, of what this set can have to offer. So in PvP, right, to me, there are 3 components to it: your defense, your offense, and your resource sustainability. This particular set to me is a defensive set, right, and it gives some minor perks in the offense. So my Oaken Soul, because I run a 1-bar build, will give me benefits for all 3 aspects, but it doesn't really double down on either one of the 3. And my Engine Guardian, which is my monster set, doubles down on the resource sustainability. So you can see that the offensive side of my build, if I do use this set, become the Achilles heel, the weakest link. So when I slap this set on, right, it does not give me the bells and whistles like I do when I first try on the Engine Guardian with the Order's Wrath, or when I replace my Plague Break with the Order's Wrath. In either of the 2 precedents, once I put on a new set, straight away I see positive results. But for this case, not so much. The only thing that I experience is that I do last a little bit longer in battle because of that 1650 critical resistance, which I feel that no other set really gives you so much bang for buck. Even if you have the impregnable trait for all your armor, I don't think it really beats this particular 5-piece set, right? So yeah, with a lot of people running Tarnished Nightmare and critical damage going around all over the battlefield, this set allows me to last a little bit longer, but I'd be able to do any significant amount of damage. Like right now, if you look at my stat, right, okay, my penetration is 10k, and my spell damage is, with the Belloc set, would be 6000. But if I swap it to the Engine Guardian set, my spell damage goes down to 5800, and I feel the difference. I don't do as much damage, I cannot hurt as much. So I would recommend that if you run this on a 1-bar build, go with the Agility set, which is what I did, it's always there, and then go with the Belloc set, because the Belloc will up my spell pen as well as the spell damage, and you can have the potential to gank people once you come out of hiding if you're a vampire stage 3. And also at the same time, bearing in mind that this particular set is a 5-piece light armor, so in itself there is a certain constraint that you need to consider. If you're a stamina based class, you do need to feed off medium armor, so you got to find some way to introduce medium armor. Like my 1-piece trainee, I would always slap on the heavy chest, because reinforced heavy chest gives you the maximum bang for buck for your physical and for your physical resistance and spell resistance lah. Right? So the only sort of medium armor that I can get is from my monster set. And in your case, you may want to switch it up a little bit. I can see this working better in a 2-bar set if you have the Rallying Cry together with like what they recommend, the Wretched Vitality or the Tarnished Nightmare set, right? You can then have both the offensive benefits of the Tarnished Nightmare or the resource sustainability of the Wretched Vitality. Pairing up with the Rallying Cry, which gives you defense, you can then use the monster set to just buff up whatever you need to. You can choose a monster set that further heightens your attack or double down on your defense, and you can actually have a pretty good class. Okay, now going back to why I'm a 1-bar build, right? I've said this many times, is because of the geographical region which I play in. I experience a lag like no other. I play in Southeast Asia and my lag is really bad, so I cannot do bar swapping effectively. So this presents another problem. When I play with Rallying Cry or any other set that has a proc, this further increases and exaggerates the lag that I experience. Not an ideal situation to be in, alright? So if I play with Engine Guardian, for example, right, the droid appearing is a proc, and that adds on to my lag. The skills that I use, I play with a pet, Twilight Matriarch, that is my key source of healing. The animation of the pet itself also introduces another form of lag. Now with the Rallying Cry, that is another proc, and again I lag. So with these 3 components in, my lag is like at an all-time bad, to the extent where I cannot heal when I want to heal. And you know how critical that is, right? It is so frustrating when, especially when you're battling with very good opponents, and you know that you're 1 heal away from out-surviving your opponent, and then that heal doesn't happen. That's what's happening with my current lag at the moment, so it's not ideal. Further to that, I'm also experiencing lag in Haunting Curse and Crystal Frag. The gameplay itself becomes very frustrating. I cannot curse the Nightblade when it appears, and by the time the curse happens, the Nightblade's already gone. Same thing for the Crystal proc. So I would not recommend anybody playing in my region to be using this particular set with Engine Guardian and with Twilight Matriarch or which other pet that you're using, because the lag would not make you an effective PvP player. However, once I slap on the Bell Lock, takes away the Engine Guardian proc, then my lag is a little bit better and I have higher offensive build. So I think this particular setup, right, Bell Lock, Rallying Cry with the Oaken Soul, 1-piece trainee, and with the agility, the 3-piece agility set, I think this can work. Although I wouldn't really say that this is more effective than my Orders Wrath, my previous build. I just say that it's a little bit different, I last a little bit longer, but my offensive stats is not compromised and my lag isn't too bad, right? So overall, this is my experience. It doesn't wow me, but you know, I am always an advocate to trying out new sets and having an experience, sharing it with you guys. If you are a Rallying Cry user, do drop by in the comments what you think is the best permutation for you. It offers something pretty good, quite bang for buck, but in itself is not the be all and end all. It needs to work with something else lah, like the sets that I've mentioned previously, for your build to be effective. Also, you need to consider the geographical region that you're playing. If you are in North America and Europe, you won't face any of this kind of rubbish when it comes to latency. You probably have a better time playing this game. Alright, okay, so that's all there is for me. Drop in your comments if you have anything further to add. Thank you for your time. I see you when I see you in the next video. Goodbye everybody.